find out what your 30 human rights are under the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Hello and welcome to something I like to call the Storybook of Human Rights. What you're going to see next is not the history of human rights, but how human rights has affected the individuals that it applies to. Humans. Well, I shouldn't say more. Let's just open the book. To the very beginning. Chapter 1.
Under the phenomenal leadership of Youth for Human Rights Toronto Director Nicole Crellin, it is my joy to produce this multimedia storybook, theme song, and to present Youth for Human Rights International with an award of appreciation bestowed upon Youth for Human Rights International in recognition, gratitude, and celebration of 20 years of promoting tolerance and peace globally. Thank you for successfully advancing worldwide education on the foundational and unifying principles of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family as adopted from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by means of your fervent work and love. I thank all of the outstanding individuals who gave of themselves toward this project. Happy 17th anniversary as well to Youth for Human Rights Toronto. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Youth for Human Rights Toronto Director Nicole Crellin. I'll shoot out some stats right now, 10, 20, 30. This is easy to remember. It's December 10th is the actual anniversary that we're celebrating. 20 is the 20-year anniversary of Youth for Human Rights International. And 30 is the 30 human rights. I'm encouraging you to know your human rights and share this. Thank you.
The right to democracy is where people partake in elections and any other major decisions. We feel that this is so important because we feel everybody should have a voice and everybody should have the freedom to express their opinions. I'm so thankful that we live in a country where we have the right to vote and we can stand tall for our beliefs. We want everyone to have the ability to stand out of the shadows and be able to share their opinions to help shape our world.
Rule number 15, the right to nationality. Did you know? Yes, you, I'm talking to you. Did you know that there's over 223 different nationalities around the world? That's insane. As of myself, I was born in Russia and now I live in Canada. I see myself as two nationalities that I strongly respect and love. I love both foods, both cultures, and the languages. Now, who do you want to represent? What nationality do you want to be a part of? And remember, no one can deprive you away from your nationality and what you represent. There are no borders on here.
Number 30 of the human rights, my personal favorite. No one can take your human rights away from you. For human rights are for everybody, no matter who you are.
As a human race, we are all different. This right is wonderful because we get the right to express ourselves in the way we wish to, which makes us unique. In today's day and age, with travel, with migration, it's important that we understand the differences between us and celebrate those differences, to share your culture, because that is what makes life so exciting. Imagine we were all the same. The differences between us makes life bright and wonderful, and you can learn why people are the way they are because of their traditions. If we could do that more as human beings, we would learn to appreciate each other better and live more harmoniously.
Hi, my name is Lunda and I am a third year at the University of Toronto. The human right I chose to speak about is human right number 26, the right to education. I believe that education is key to many of the problems that we have today in our lives. I come from a third world country and I know what it's like or have witnessed what happens when one does not have access to education. And with education, people can combat a lot of different problems such as poverty. And it is because of that reason that human right number 26 resonates with me. Thank you.
Right number 29, the right to responsibility. And what this right means to me is that you have the right to know your human rights. And because I know my human rights, it's my responsibility to let my friends, family, and people in my community know about their human rights. And that's exactly what we're doing in the club I just started recently called Know Your Rights. Shout out KYR.club on Instagram. You'd be surprised about what students tell me. I'll be around campus talking to students, have my club set up at the club's fair. And you'd be shocked at the number of students who tell me, I didn't know that we had 30 human rights, or I had no clue about human rights until I took that one course in my third year in humanities about it. Or something I get really often. Back home, this human right just doesn't exist. It's just something not allowed, something we don't have. And it really makes me realize how important it is for me and just others to let people know about their human rights.
Recognition of the inherent dignity of human rights is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. Whereas disregard and contempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts that outrage mankind, and the event of a world in which human beings shall enjoy freedom of speech and belief and freedom from fear and misery have been proclaimed as the highest aspiration of the common people.
toi,
and I,
et moi,
and we,
et nous,
everybody,
et nous tous,
proclame la Déclaration universelle des droits de l'homme comme l'idéal commun à atteindre par tous les peuples et nations, afin que tous les individus et organes de la société ayant cette déclaration constamment à l'esprit s'efforcent par l'enseignement et l'éducation d'en assurer le développement, d'en assurer le respect et par des mesures progressives d'ordre national et international d'en assurer l'application universelle et effective.
yeah, 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 no,
no. We want to live in a fair and equal world, but we have responsibility towards others to protect their own rights and freedom. And no one could take away your human rights.
When you learn your 30 human rights under the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, what you gain is not only an understanding of these universal rights, which everyone should have, but you are now in a position to respect these rights. Make sure that they're respected for you and respected for others. It is vital for everyone to know what these 30 human rights are. Imagine a world where people would respect each other. Their human rights would be protected and respected. Wouldn't that be great? How would it be if millions of people around the world knew what their basic human rights were? How would that world be? You can start by finding out what your 30 human rights are. Go to the website www.youthforhumanrights.org. This is a good way to start to understand them. And then, once you do that, is how do you apply those rights? And then, of course, I hope that you become an advocate for tolerance and peace and inspire others to do the same.
Huh? That seems to be all the chapters. But I'd like to think that this is a continuing story. For the story continues with stories from you, your friends, your family, and everyone you decide to spread the word of human rights to, for you have the right to know. Let's flip the page together.
Find out what your 30 human rights are under the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights.